G'day, welcome to Mt.Coramba Apiculture. It's Friday the 13th of December. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I'm mucking around with mite trapping in drone combs. So I've been using, in the past I've just been using these half frames with pretty good success. The reason why I was using them was I didn't have any of these green Pierco frames drawn, but now that I've had them through the honey supers and they've been drawn nicely, I'm just in the process of getting these down into my brood boxes now. So yeah, start of summer, and it's kind of taken me a little while to get these done, but that's okay. These things did pretty well, but as you can see, in this one the bees have decided to draw half of it drone and half of it worker. So yeah, they're kind of hit and miss that way, but they certainly filled the gap between the time I could get these green combs drawn. So yeah, that's what's been happening with them. So so I've gone through the hives at Coramba today and taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green combs out of 12 hives. So this one, through that same process, I've done the alcohol wash as well. So the first mite was found at this site on the 18th of August. So that's basically 4 months ago when I found one mite, and I've had trouble finding anything in washes since then. But today I've found 2 mites, 3 mites, 1, 2 and 0. So out of those 12 hives, I've washed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or so. I think I did more than that, but yeah, I didn't find any more than 3 mites, which was in that one there. So so let's look at these green combs. There's mixed success with them. So it'd be nice to have that whole thing drawn, because the more drone brood laid in there, the more mites are going to go in there in theory. But when you look at that side, that's as good as you'll get, really. So what I have done is I've had all my green combs in at the second slot, but I've moved them all in one to the third position, just to see if that makes any difference. So when I've taken these out, I've replaced them with another green comb, and they're actually much better drawn than these were. So we'll see how that goes. Once again, mixed success on that side and much better there. So I'm just hoping that moving them in that one slot might make a little bit of a difference. So this is the one I found 3 mites in and nothing that side, and a little tiny bit that side. So that's an interesting result. I didn't wash this one, but that's a pretty good drone comb there. One mite found in this, so nothing on that side, and quite successful that side. So there should be quite a few mites in under those cappings. I didn't wash these, probably because I didn't find the queen, but that's once again plenty on one side and nothing on the other side. So I'm hoping just moving those in one space will make a difference. That's pretty well drawn, but not so well laid up, and once again well drawn but not terribly well laid up. So we'll see if moving them in that extra slot makes a difference. Why am I doing this? I'm just going through the IPM pyramid, going from the bottom, working my way to the top. So you know, I've got screen bottom boards on all my hives, so in theory any mites that drop off are going to go through that screen bottom board and fall out onto the ground. I'm trying to improve my queen, so just having better bees and just looking after my bees at an extra level than I've ever done. and drone trapping. So drone trapping is a mechanical method of mite control, so mites are more attracted to drone cells. The mites go into those cells just before they're capped, and they're trapped there. So between day 10 and day 24, if you take these out and freeze them, any mites that are gone in there are gone out of that hive. They're frozen and they're dead. I'm going to clean these frames up, open the tops up, and after they're frozen and thawed out again, I'm going to open the tops up and just hose the contents out, just to make it a bit easier for the bees to reuse those combs. So these went in on the 24th of November, so it's day 19 now, so they're well in between that day 10 and day 24 period. So I think the drone trapping's been pretty effective. I've been using these half combs prior to using these. So yeah, in 4 months, the highest alcohol wash I'm getting is 3 mites. So still well below any treatment thresholds, and we're at the peak of summer here now. So I know that mites lag behind the peak of the bees. So I'll be interested to see how they go in the next month, and whether those mite counts go up anymore. And what I want to do now is just go through a few of these frames and uncap some, and just see what the mite load is like inside these frames. No science behind it. I was watching a video from the British Beekeepers Association the other night, a lady called Kirsty Stainton, who's written a book on Varroa, which I've got, and it's a really good book. And she's saying that the most accurate way of checking mite loads is the drone uncapping. So uncapping about 300 drone cells and counting the number of mites in there. But yeah, I'm still not too sure about that. We'll see what's inside these things. Just want to say too, I'm not saying that you have to do this. You can only mite trap in drone combs if you've got the opportunity. So the bees are making drone comb. If they're not, then you can't do it. I'm not saying this is the be all and end all. I'm not hanging my hat on it. I'm not saying this is all I'm going to do and this is the way you got to do it. So like I said, I'm just trying to work through that IPM pyramid and work this out in my head, and just for my own benefit. Mites are here to stay, and I just need to be able to understand them. So I find this stuff really interesting. If it's not for you, then there are other videos you can watch. All right, let's uncap a few and see how they look. So we'll start with this fella here. That's one that's pretty well laid out on one side and not so well on the other. Just interested to see what stage these are at before we start going at them with the uncapping fork. So yeah, they're not quite purple eye stage yet, but getting close. So if they're too young, they can be really hard to get out. And they wouldn't come out real well with an uncapping fork. They're just a bit soft. Yeah, so they're only just still larval stage, so they're not going to come out with an uncapping fork. Let's turn it over. And I'll go in the middle here because she may have started in the middle, so they look a bit better. A little bit older, but not quite purple eye stage. So they're definitely in the pupal stage. Let's try and get this sit up. So this drone uncapping and counting mites is pretty tedious, I think. So I don't see it as something that I think I'll be doing. But it's just an interesting exercise to on these other ones when I know the mite count done with an alcohol wash, and I can kind of compare it with what they look like inside the cells. So they're not coming out real well. So yeah, a few more days would have been better with them. But for the purposes of mite trapping, then that doesn't make any difference really. As long as they're capped. Let's have a look at this one. So this was an alcohol wash of 2 mites. See if these are a better age. Yeah, so they're almost purple eye stage, which is they kind of hold together a lot better. So that sometimes the abdomens come off them. So they're coming out much better when they're purple-eyed. So if you're going to do mite trapping with drone comb and mite counts with drone comb, I'd be trying to get them to that stage, and you'll get a better result, I think. Yeah, I did some the other day, and often just when you uncap them, you'll see a mite running around just under the capping, so they're not coming out at all. Let's try our uncapping fork and see how that goes. So that's a bit better. So that'd be definitely a quicker way if you got the age of your drones right. It'd be easy to count up 200 or 300 drones and just have a look and see what's on them. I can't see anything there yet. Still nothing there. So remember, this was a mite wash of alcohol wash of 2 mites in 300 bees. Yeah, so they're coming out nicely there now. So yeah, just that purple eye stage, or just before that purple eye stage, is a really good age to get them. Still nothing there. There's one in there, a bit hard to see. Let's have another look. See, I'm not seeing hundreds of mites falling out of there. Just get rid of them. Something I was just showing the other day is to give it a, once you get them out like that, just give them a tap and see what else falls out of there. So straight away there's a mite there, and there's one there. So there's 2 mites in that. Just that have fell out of the cells after I've uncapped them. Let's give it another hit. There's another one there. So 1, 2, 3. So yeah, just don't rely on them being attached to the larvae and pupae. They can be in the cells. You can see that fella there crawling around. Let's uncap a few more, see if we can get some more out. Try this other side. Actually, that was the one I just tried, so these seem to be a better age on this side. Chooks will get there. So, yeah, there's one there. So it seems you get more out of the frame by bashing it than actually on the larvae or pupae, which is interesting. Another one there. So all these mites are being trapped and going into the freezer, so they're not staying in that hive to reproduce. And you know, anything you can do has got to be a bonus. I know it's laborious and painstaking, but yeah, you know, I've got 70 hives, and I guess I've got the time to do it. If you got 7,000, then this is probably not the method for you, you know. Straight away after banging that, there's one there. Yeah, so they definitely keep coming out. Let's give that a bit of a wash. Let's have a look at another one. So this one had 3 mites in the alcohol wash. Let's see how this comes out. Yeah, so they're younger, so they're still in the larval stage. Although they're coming out quite well. Not really, no, they're not. Let's uncap them and knock them out and see what's in the cells. There's a mite there. Right, let's see what comes out of here. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, look, it mightn't seem like much, but they're mites that are gone out of that hive. Let's see what else we can dig out of here. So that fella let's try this one. So it had a mite wash of 0. Let's see what we can get out of this fella. There's a mite there. Yeah, so they're another mite there. So they're a bit young for the purposes of uncapping, but yeah, it still is as effective for trapping. Yeah, so there's still plenty of mites coming out of there. Alright, let's see. Looks like a good one there. So I didn't do a wash on this one, probably because I didn't find the queen. Let's see how they look. Right, so they're a good age. Just in that purple eye stage. So let's uncap as many of these as we can. See how it looks. So yeah, not seeing a lot. Actually on the pupae. There's one there. Let's try and uncap most of this frame, and we'll bang it out and see what comes out. And I'm not looking real hard there, but when they're there, they're not hard to see. Alright, so I've probably uncapped a few hundred drones there. So let's, for the purposes, bang this out and see what comes out of it. Righto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So at least a dozen mites flew out of there. Give it another hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've made a bit of a mess of that, but there would still be a lot of mites in there. So, you know, there's 15 there. Let's say I've only got half of them, so there might be 30 mites in there. And yeah, this is a hive that I didn't wash, but I guess you can see that when you've got mite loads of 0, 1, 2 and 3 in your alcohol washes, that's what you can expect in that drone brood. So, you know, these are strong hives too, with a lot of worker brood in them as well. So there's going to be a proportion of mites in there as well. They're not only in the drone comb. So I guess the point of all this is, if you're in an area where mites haven't been detected yet, and you're doing alcohol washes and finding no mites, don't assume you haven't got mites. Because if you have a dig around in that drone brood, you can see how easy it is to find them. Yeah, just I think Varroa is much more widespread than people think it is in Australia, and I'd encourage, if you're up in Queensland or down in Victoria, if you do a bit of this, you might get a surprise, and you may find mites when you didn't think you had them. So, look, I hope this helps. I'm once again, I'm not saying you've got to do this. I just think it's interesting to compare the mite washes with what's in the drone comb, and I'm going to keep mite trapping in drone comb until such time as I can't. And yeah, we'll just keep going through there. So all these ones that were taken out had a new one replaced in them, and they're much better combs actually. They're drawn in honey supers and they're completely drawn. So we'll see how the queens take to them. And yeah, I've moved them in one slot from the second position to the third. So we'll see how it goes. All right, happy mite hunting.